Yeah, watch it. Got the riffs on the track. Dead on the boards. Church. Bishop Lamar. Wow. Yeah, the statistics shows my ballistic flows generate big cake, not with candles that spaghetti them O's. I'm so ready, how to pack my clothes. I'm so heavy with no D, how them boys. I rock them gators more than Dundee boys. I'm the real raw deal, y'all just still decoys. Like
So, and it transformed from fiction into realism, even though it is a work of fiction.
For that green like for Rick, no, not from New Orleans, but can you see me, homie? Mic check, check 1, 2. If it ain't a check or text, that's all I'm gon' do. Mic check, check 1, 2. If you ain't talking dollars, I can't understand you. Mic check, check 1, 2. If it ain't a check or text, that's all I'm gon' do. Mic check. Check 1, 2. If you ain't talking dollars, I can't understand you. Yeah, look around, left, right, up and down.
So in the time before everything starts, and the second book kind of gets into the very beginning of it, and then the third book kind of ends up the first phase of what happened.
My target audience when I wrote it in my head was basically teenage girls that had read Twilight and were sorry that it was over.
From this reason. And they are animals beings arsenic.
But you're the bus driver, yeah, there he is, I was like, that's cool, it's like it was made for it,
Mic check, check 1, 2. If you ain't talking dollars, I can't understand you. Mic check, check 1, 2. If it ain't a check or text, that's all I'm gon' do. Mic check, check 1, 2. If you ain't talking dollars,
That's what evil does. That's wrong about
Quit. Well, quit if you want to, boy, but we need you out there.
Welcome to another great show of APN TV Media. We have a lot in store for you today. As a matter of fact, we have a special guest. Her name is Diane Carbo. Diane Carbo is an RN. She's written several books. Yes. So if you've heard of her, yes. She's written several books, okay? And it's all about her specialty is it's about like a lifeline thing. She handles the elders about dementia and things like that. Those, okay, but she's going to explain that to us. All right, with Alzheimer's and all that. She's also, by the way, it has been in an article, or should I say the NBC News article. Okay, we'll talk to her about that as well. So you know what? Without further delay, like I say, let's go ahead and get this party started. And I tell you what, I'll see you in a few moments.
Watch it. Got the words on the track. Who's that on the boards? Church. Bishop Lamont. Wow. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome back. Diane, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, excellent. Hey, you know what? Actually, I had so much to say in the beginning that I had to cut it short. Okay, because I remember you mentioned we was talking about somehow I didn't know you knew I was a city boy. You knew it, and you picked it off right away. And I said, "Oh my gosh," had me stunned. Okay. So,
I picked up your Philly accent.
yes, originally born and raised in Philadelphia, and that was interesting. And I graduated in Atlantic City, but I also went to Overbrook High in West Philly. But that was interesting that you picked up the accent.
Yeah, well, I'm a Pittsburgh girl. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I lived in Philly and love the city, the city of brotherly love. Maybe not so much.
Oh, yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, I did visit when we spoke. So.
Oh, Pittsburgh is not bad. I used to fly back and forth there when I was in the airlines.
Oh, Pittsburgh is like Boston. They're small cities with a big attitude.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. I love Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia is a lot more congested and crowded, and there's a lot more history in Philadelphia, which I really enjoy.
You're awesome. You are awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Your specialty, I know you specialize in the elderly, and I said, oh my gosh, she's got a lot going on. I did research and saw you actually have 2 websites. Is that correct?
Actually, I have 3 now.
3? You got the caregiverrelief.com.
Correct.
myvitalalert.com.
Correct. And I just started carepartnerjobs.com.
carepartnersjob.com.
Yes.
Okay, hopefully I believe we'll have that up on the screen.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. They got it up on the screen. Man, that is awesome. Awesome. Yeah. But you know what? I got some questions for you, if you don't mind. I'm already asking questions. So. What am I talking about?
I hope so.
Yes. Well, you shocked me. So we're homebodies.
There we go. We are.
Oh my goodness. We're Pennsylvanians.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Now, here's the first one I would like to ask you. Okay. Can you tell me who is the family? Yeah. Can you tell me who is the family caregiver?
Absolutely. I think you're going to be surprised to know that many people are caregivers or what we like to call care partners, and they don't even know it or don't want to own that. You may think that what you're doing for your mom or your spouse or a friend just doesn't really count as caregiving. You might think, well, it's just a little bit of help, or it's just for now, or it's just that what you're supposed to do in a certain situation. But the truth is, what you're doing does count as caregiving, and it does make you a care partner to your family member or friend. And I think that's really important for people to acknowledge and embrace, because as a care partner, that helps you to help somebody maximize their level of independence for as long as possible and live independently in the least restrictive environment. And I think that's really important, and family members need to take ownership of that. And also, it's important to open the lines of communication, which is really hard for so many elders, the aging seniors, and family caregivers to do. But opening that line of communication and discussing that they are a caregiver allows you to discuss your future care needs.
Oh, interesting. You know what? Actually, I'm going to share with the viewers, and I'm going to say also your readers, because I'm going to throw this out there because I know you have more books. She has 2 books. So far, I'm looking at, which I'm going to mention, but she has more she's going to share with us as well. Okay, it's called Diagnosis of Dementia. What do I do now? And the other one is Understanding the Early Stages of Dementia. And these books are on Kindle, so it's very easy even they're on Kindle, but the apps themselves, it's a lot easier today for everyone now to benefit, to be able to read these books. Also, I'm going to give you a little bit about Diane, if you don't mind.
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay, Diane Carbo is an RN who specializes, and I want to say this, RN as registered nurse?
Yes, as a registered nurse, yes.
Thank you. Who specializes in assisting the elderly and has seen her share families with siblings who do not see eye to eye on their parents' care. She was most recently featured in an NBC news article about dementia and disputing siblings. I keep saying siblings. Siblings.
You'll get it right.
Siblings.
Yes.
Stating, in the present deflated economy, there are more and more clashes over parents' finances. If these siblings do not agree on what is necessary, things get very ugly. Interesting.
Very true.
And it is. You are the go lady. Yes, it says.
I am the go-to lady. Absolutely.
The go-to lady for the tips and tricks of it. Excellent. Well, I had to open that door so they understand when you're sharing this and asking questions. They're like, well, then, who is she? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, she's a registered nurse. And her focus is caregiving.
Yes.
But I also realized that you went just beyond the caregiving, because looking at your website on my vitalalert.com,
yes.
I mean, you have PDFs with of different languages at that.
Yeah, I'm trying. We are a country of many cultures.
Yes,
and My Vital Alert has been established because we are the next generation medical ID system. And I'm really excited about launching this product because it's going to make a difference in the way we view many things. I have a lot of things in the works right now, but My Vital Alert actually works by simply tapping your phone to the bracelet or a tag or a card, and it allows your picture to pop up. It allows your family members to see that, or anybody who comes on to you, if you're in an emergency, or if you're a dementia patient and may be confused and lost, they can identify who you are and actually can pull up your records as far as if your allergies, and there's even a place on the app for people to call your emergency contacts or text them in regards to your whereabouts or whatever, or your situation.
Wow.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Incredible. I'm almost scared to ask on the other one. Okay, the caregiver relief.
Well, caregiver relief, it helps. The big move right now is for seniors to remain in their homes as they age. And that's a really big task for anybody, because our homes are not prepared to handle the aging body. They're made more for the young body. So I think that caregiver relief supports the seniors to help them remain in their homes as they age, and I also support the family caregiver throughout their caregiving journey, which can be anywhere from 6 to 20 years long.
Wow.
And yeah, caregiving can last a really long time. So I support them. And then we're actually starting a group for life after caregiving, because so many are become socially isolated, financially devastated, and broken and lost. So we also support the family caregiver through their grief process and beyond on their new normal life.
Wow. Yes. Wow. On that note, we'll be right back after this.
Yeah, watch it. Got the words on the track. That on the boards. Church. Bishop Lamont. Wow. Yeah.
Why should our kids eat healthy? That's a good question. What happens when they don't eat healthy? Well, eating unhealthy leads to an unhealthy life. What can it lead to, you may ask? It can lead to childhood obesity, which leads to diabetes, high blood pressure, and also heart problems. It also can lead to our kids taking medicines at an early age and also extended hospital stays. How can we bring awareness to our kids about childhood obesity? How can we bring awareness to our parents about childhood obesity? Bringing awareness to our kids and their families about childhood obesity helps the whole family. Everyone is healthy and everyone is happy. I think I might have the solution. Follow me and let's see.
Welcome back. You know what, Diane, I got some more questions for you.
Great.
Yes. Man, that was powerful. That was very powerful what you said. You scared me into just jumping off with joy, like, yes. She really is the go-to person, the go-to girl. Okay. It's the second question I have for you is, what types of things does a family caregiver do? As a matter of fact, this is what I will share to your viewers and readers. Okay, the main focus is and I love how she is doing this. She mentions family. For all of you know me, I love this family enjoyment. So she's a family caregiver. Not just a caregiver for just a certain individual, but she does the overall picture in order to make this caregiving a great success, as she has been doing. Okay, so I wanted to clarify that. So let's go to this next question. All right, what types of things does a family caregiver do?
Well, I will tell you that you're going to be surprised, but the single largest pillar of the long-term care continuum is the family caregiver. And they provide over $450 billion a year in unpaid care to their family members. Ooh. That could be anything from taking someone shopping to the doctor's appointments to 24-hour round-the-clock care at home. I cannot tell you the strength and the abilities of these individuals is amazing.
Wow. You say those numbers again?
Yes.
A year?
Yeah. The family caregiver provides $450 billion a year in unpaid care.
Wow.
That means there's a lot of free care. The family caregiver as a unit is the largest pillar of the long-term care industry because they really try very hard to keep their family members out of assisted living and nursing homes and try to keep them at home at great personal, financial, and physical ability. I mean, it's just really, really hard.
Yes, no, you're right. It's a physical ability. As a matter of fact, mental and physically, trying to handle elders, but you actually, what I love about how you're doing this is that you're mentioning family. So and you have the way to understand through your websites and the information I have here. Actually, yes, I've been doing my homework. Is that you give family tips as well? Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. I run several caregiving support groups online.
Excellent. Yes.
I keep them closed because I think it's very important that family caregivers are able to share their experiences in a continuum where they can feel safe and not have to be reprimanded or feel that they're going to suffer negative consequences because of their feelings. So we keep it very closed into our caregiving community.
Wow. Yes. Wow. The next question is, what obstacles may a family caregiver face?
Oh, there's so many. I have to tell you, social isolation is a big one. They become socially isolated. And of course, we have such a lack of community resources or the inability to find the necessary resources in a timely fashion is very hard too. And I will tell you, this is going to be very disappointing to you, but they have a lack of family support. There's always, and this is consistent for whatever reason, there's one person that will care for a family member, and many others, for whatever reasons, don't get involved. We call them the uninvolved family members. And they don't support them by helping financially, or they don't support them by helping provide any kind of care. And it's really sad. It's these things. And like I said before, the family caregiver is definitely negatively impacted physically, emotionally, and even financially. Many really suffer their own health issues after providing care. They suffer feelings of anger, resentment, rage, and 50% of them have severe depression over a period of years. And I think that this is due to the point that in some caregivers, they have such a sense of being selfless and dedicated to the people that they're caring for that they go beyond a certain point and then it becomes self-destructive. And as a caregiver myself, both professional and a family caregiver, I can see how that can happen. And my goal with my caregivers on Caregiver Relief is to show them that, hey, we are here to love you and support you, and we care about you, and we're here when and if you need us, and you will.
Yes, I understand that. Yes, actually, I've I volunteered. I dedicated myself for a few years down at the Meadow Lodge Nursing Home for the elderly a few years back.
God bless you for that. Thank you.
Thank you. That's according to university that I've done every Thursday, and I completely understand what you're talking about. It's a mind blower. There are those that they kind of fade away from the. It's interesting. They fade away from the
society, actually.
Yes.
They fade away. And
yes.
I had someone, I'll tell you, I was offended by an ex-business partner, but I think one of the things about aging is we become invisible. I always tell people I'm a glitter goddess because, and I'm not going to let you, that shining light isn't an angel. It's me coming towards you with all my glitter. And I hope to be one of those little old ladies that has the jewelry and the gaudiness all the time to be fun,
Yes. Yes.
But the average person in a nursing home is about 86, and the majority of them don't have family members visiting them. So they do get forgotten.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
My father was in one, and he had passed off a few years back. But he had somebody that actually cared. I don't know what the well, that's a whole nother chapter. I may even write a book about that with my
I hope
family
you
thing.
do.
Yeah, there's more new stuff that I discovered within my own family back then, that things that had happened.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. God has a way of doing things.
Yes.
He has a way of doing things. It's still blessed. But nevertheless, everything that you're sharing is exactly pinpoint. It's actually right. It's funny how we my father was still they transported him from Philadelphia to Atlantic City. So how does that's another factor too. I was wondering, because in dementia and all that, yes. I want to keep saying parent or the person, fine. the client starts to fade into, but the family of that client. Am I saying that? The family of that client also kind of fades away too.
Sometimes, yes. I'll tell you what, one of the things, I'm a dementia care specialist. And I have worked with patients and family members. And one of the things I can tell you is family members really have a hard time when a person with dementia declines, because they lose, in many types of dementia, such as in Alzheimer's, they lose the ability to remember who you are. And for some families members, that is really hard to deal with. It's really difficult to go see someone who looks the same, very much so, but they're not anybody who they used to be at all. Their personality has changed, and they don't remember who you are. They don't have those memories of you at all. And a lot of family members don't go to visit anymore because they can't deal with it. Oh, wow. Yes, that's right. That is exactly right. That's correct. It's funny. It reminds me of the movie of The Notebook. Have you seen that movie? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Did she have dementia? Or she, because she always forgot a certain time period, but it was written down in the book, but I see that he kept coming, but the family didn't. I don't know if anybody caught that. The family only came once in a blue moon. Yeah. To see, to see her, but they only did that when he brings them in. Otherwise, I guess I just read too much into it. It's a movie, but you know what? If you really want to see a good movie that was recently done, Still Alice. It's Still Alice, was recently released, and that is really a well-done movie about somebody with Alzheimer's. Excellent. Very good. It's very well done, and I would recommend that. Excellent. Yes, because at least we want even those that
I want families to be prepared in case something like that happens in the near future.
Yes.
At least they get an idea, overall picture on what's going on, or what can they do. At least have different types of plans or settings, ahead of time, just in case.
It really
big
is.
what if.
Yeah. Well, I think that my book, What Do I Do Now, when I've been diagnosed with dementia, what do I do now?
I was getting to that.
I think that it's really, I think it's really important for people to understand that there is a planning process that you need to put in place. And it's not just with people with dementia, but with any disease process. If they have asthma, arthritis, diabetes, a form of cancer, it's opening up the lines of communication and discussing future care needs. Okay, I'm here I am 62. What do I have in place? It's important to get organized and get important legal paperwork in place. And it's important to have conversations about what you want, such as having an advance directive in place so that people know that, hey, I don't want CPR if I'm not going to have a good quality of life, or I don't want IV antibiotics if if it's not going to improve my quality of life. And I think that this is important to do these kinds of things so that you can avoid situations like the Glenn Campbell and the Casey Kasem situations, of the world. You need to absolutely have your legal paperwork in place and identify people that you can trust to be your advocate should you not be able to communicate your wishes to anybody.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you know what? If you don't mind, can I? It's up to you. I want to bring about that Glenn Campbell case. Sure. Let me see.
Sure.
Okay. So many families are battling in the news lately. Taking care of loved ones. Okay. Casey Kasem's children battling stepmom for care rights. Yes. Glenn Campbell children battling for his care in last days.
Right.
Okay.
Casey Kasem, Glenn Campbell, neither one of them put their wishes in writing, and they did not communicate to anybody what their wishes were as far as end-of-life care.
Okay, this is in the with the NBC News article.
Right.
Okay.
Right,
well, go ahead.
Right.
You got the floor.
I can tell. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can tell you right now that with this situation is not just for the wealthy. This goes on every day in our society. The poor, the rich, the middle class. The problem is we have a lack of communicating or a fear of discussing death and end-of-life issues and what we would want. And I think people are in very strong denial that, hey, we're not going to die. If I don't talk about it, I'm not going to die. Well, the problem is then you have the Glenn Campbell, Casey Kasem situations where there was a divide between what the family members thought that wanted. In Casey Kasem's situation, he was put on a ventilator and had artificial breathing, I think, and tube feedings, and it became he not only did not have a quality of life, but he was hooked up to artificial means of, and he had a terminal and progressive disease such as dementia. Both of these men did, which is very sad. So there was not going to be any improvement. And for whatever reason, some family members do not want to let a person go. And I don't know what Glenn or Casey wanted in regards to their future care needs, but and this happens every day all over our country, actually probably all over the world, where people just don't discuss them. I'm very open about it. I tell my son, hey, this is what I want. And I have it all in writing. Well, I do recommend that people go to 5wishes.org and get a an advanced directive. It's a wonderful piece, a tool to use when you're planning your end of life. And I think everybody over the age of 18 should have one in place.
At age 18?
Over the age of 18, yes.
The only thing I was looking at is the bucket list.
Hey, you know what? Accident happens. I can tell you, I've been a nurse for 40 plus years. I'm not an old nurse, I'm a seasoned nurse. And I can tell you that things happen, and even families of younger, well, Terry Schiavo is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. If she had put her wishes in writing, we wouldn't have had the public conflict that we did. And it was very sad because her family members wanted to keep her close family members, and the ex-spouse or her husband at the time did not want to continue her life. He said that was her wishes. There was a big argument about it. So I think it's very important that anybody over the age of 18, so I'm counting on you getting yours done very soon and putting it in writing, what you want, so that there's no question should an accident or an emergency event occur.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. Wow. That was a lot to absorb right there. I love it.
It's a difficult subject that nobody wants to discuss.
Yes. It's more, it's difficult, but it's touchy because it does carry that what if. But you know what? That's one time that we have to hang on to the what if, because we don't know. But at least we get to, and I'm glad that you have websites and actually sharing us other sites to be able to, and books out there for us to be able to grasp the concept, or the warning signs.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think your other book is Understanding the Early Stages of Dementia.
Yes.
Okay, let me open that door for you. There you go. There's another one.
Well, I think that we see signs of dementia, and people don't realize dementia is an umbrella term for almost 200 conditions. And there are reversible dementias and there are irreversible dementias. And the irreversible dementias, and the biggest one that everybody knows about is Alzheimer's. And the second leading cause or type of dementia is Lewy body, which is the second most common type of dementia, but it is the most misdiagnosed and misunderstood of the dementias. The reversible dementias would be you have dementia-like symptoms, and you forgetful, your memory problems or whatever. And I have to say that those are like a urinary tract infection. It could be a vitamin deficiency, such as B12, that you take the vitamin and your problems are resolved. So I think that when you start to have problems, and people don't realize that dementia, it occurs long before we see our signs and symptoms. And that's something that is very telling to us, that we're already preparing, we're showing signs of the disease in our daily life, but nobody's picking it up, and people are very smart. We are able to overcompensate for our flaws in the early stages of dementia.
Wow. Yes. Thank you. We do have some more questions, but I will share this with your viewers and readers. I am going to be asking these, you know what? Right after these messages. Okay? I'll see all of you in a few moments.
Yeah, watch it. Got the words on the track. That on the boards. Church. Bishop Lamont. Wow. Yeah.
With the curvy shape. of substance, you're not shallow at all. For hours we could sit and talk, yeah. I'm just about anything, from A to Z. It's crazy how you relate to me. Oh girl, with you I can always be myself. It's something that I've never felt. What's not to love about you? Every day I find more reasons to. 'Cause you're in a beauty that's always shining through. What's not to love about you? I love how you don't walk around with the all about me attitude.
They've neglected themselves for so long, they don't know who they are or what the next step is in their future, and it's very difficult.
Wow. I've got a few more for you here real quick. We're starting to run out of time, but we shared about you shared with us about the importance of self-care. What types of things do you recommend?
Well, I really think that people need to practice mindfulness, meditation. I think that they need to eat healthy and try to get exercise. And it's not easy when you have somebody, but you also need to ask for help. And that leads me into, I really think that we as a community need to reach out to support the family caregiver. Like I said, there's $450 billion of unpaid care provided. And as the caregiver, the family caregiver is an individual that is invisible to many people. They look at the senior and say, hey, how are you? But they don't ask the family caregiver how they're doing. And I think that we just need to step up to the task of supporting the family caregiver in our churches, in our communities, and as individuals. When you know somebody who's providing care for another, take them lunch, make them dinner, offer to stay with somebody, offer to give them a break. Offer to help do laundry, or maybe run the sweeper for them, or maybe just go visit and bring donuts and coffee and help them connect to another person outside of their caregiving realm. Those are really important things that we need to do to support our family caregivers right now.
Explain what you mean by care. By the care. You know what? Invisible patient.
Yes.
Okay. The meaning of that invisible patient.
The medical delivery system, the medical professionals such as myself, consider the family caregiver as the invisible patient. And it's because they are so involved in taking the caregiver or their family member, the aging senior, to all their doctor's appointments and making sure that they're okay, that they neglect themselves, their health, and their own well-being and emotional well-being. And I really feel that we need to take a step towards our doctors looking at the family caregiver and saying, hey, how are you? How can we help you? Because, like I said, so many of them die or become seriously ill before the person they're caring for does. And it impacts. I tell my family caregivers, you have to take care of yourself, because if you don't, you are the single most important part of the caregiving equation. And without you, it all falls apart. So I try to make them aware that, hey, if you end up in the hospital or you become ill, what's going to happen to the person you're caring for? They end up in the hospital. They end up being put in a nursing home. They end up not in a good situation. Everything that you've wanted to prevent happens. So self-care and taking care of yourself is really important, and it means focusing on your own health as well.
Excellent. And what can others do to support the family caregiver?
Well, as I've said, bring a meal in. If hey, have pizza come, or bring a really nice Sunday dinner. I think one of the most important things that we really have to do is just ask the caregiver, how are you doing? Is there anything I can do for you? And, caregivers need to be able to say, oh, you know what, I would love if you would do this or love if you would do that. Family caregivers aren't always good at asking for help. And I think that so we have to, as a community, I wish the churches would get more involved. One of the saddest things I'm hearing is the churches are focusing on their youth and not their elderly. And that, people will come up to them and say, hey, we haven't seen you at church. Well, no kidding, I can't get away. The family caregiver can't get away because they need someone to come. So why don't the churches bring the church to the person, or bring or say, hey, I'll sit with your mom or your dad or whoever so that you can get to church and get out and have your spiritual needs met. And I think that that's a really important thing that we're doing. And I think if the churches are really going to get involved with their youth and focus on their youth, first of all, the elderly are the ones that have the money in the churches, so you need to be you need to be catering to them and a little bit. So I think that we need to be involved with helping with the seniors. Bring, have elder care visits, have prayer visits, have just, hey, can I do something around the house for you? The communities need to step up and say, do you need yard work done? Can we do it? Making sure that the shovels, the paths, the snow is shoveled or the leaves are raked. Those are big things that would mean a lot, that wouldn't cost anything for anybody to do but their time.
Excellent. I had to bring that back. Us to be able to help the caregiver help the family or help the patient.
Well, it's part of, like I said, they're invisible. The family caregiver is invisible to so many people, and they're so neglected. And they do become socially isolated because their life evolves around taking care of one person or two people. Like I have one caregiver recently who has been taking care of her mother-in-law and her two parents, her mom and her dad. So she's taking care of three people. And it's just been, her health has seriously deteriorated over the last 2 years. And the needs as we age increase. So I know she feels like she's being, like so many of my caregivers, they're feeling like they're drawn and quartered, being drawn and quartered by, being pulled in so many different directions.
Yes. One of the things is, you're right about that. Within the churches, actually, they've it used to be like that in the late. Actually, in the 60s and 70s, it tapered off when it got to the late 80s, 88, 89, and in the 90s, it seemed like the churches forgot, and the nurses that used to be there faded out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that back then. Well, I'm an old man, so I remember back then when it used to be like that. But then you're right. What happened to the elders? It seemed like they faded out the churches.
Yeah, well, it's really sad, but there is a growing, in fact, I belong to a parish nurse group, and there is a growing faith in action program going on in some churches, not enough.
Yes.
And I will say I'm tough on churches because I think that they can be doing a lot more to support their community, especially the community side that has the money. But again, it's ageism, and the elderly are ignored. It's sad.
That's true. Yes, it is sad. And finally, I believe you mentioned you have other books besides these two?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Kindle or Amazon.com. I've created a family medication book. I've got a caregiver stress book, and we've even created a caregiver stress CD. Yeah, I'm really trying to help the family caregiver because as I said, we are in a crisis with the aging. This year we started seniors, the baby boomers started turning 65, and our largest growing population right now is 90 and older in our country.
Wow.
And so we're living longer, not necessarily healthier, and for the first time in our lives, seniors are not retiring to enjoy life, but to take care of aging parents. And we have a crisis going on, and there's so many issues regarding family caregiving that need to be dealt with. Community resources, the government needs to provide some kind of respite care so that caregivers can get a break, and it's just not out there. And we have baby boomers are trendsetters. And they've always been, and they will change the way we not only look at the aging population, but how we treat them. So look out. Over the next few years, I think people are going to get a real big surprise at the expectations baby boomers have as they grow older.
Wow. You know what? Your dedication is
Thank you.
We'd love to have you come back again.
I would love it anytime.
Excellent. Thank you for coming on the show. And everybody, I will be right back after this.
Yeah, watch it. Got the words on the track. That on the boards. Church. Bishop Lamont. Wow. Yeah.
I've run out of answers, I've run out of time, and I'm so confused that I'm losing my mind. It's gonna take a miracle to help me this time. I'm traveling a road that has not one sign. Help me, ooh, have mercy, oh yeah, set my soul free.
He's all right. But when you talk about getting laid off from a job, or you're talking about husband and wife leaving you, you don't know how you're going to get through it. God is still right there.
This is my plea, you see. I need an angel. I'm calling an angel.
But there's also going to be something better. There's a blessing for you, but you have to go through it.
For me, have nowhere to go, so I'm down on my knees. I'm trying to see the forest, but there's this one tree. Can't understand why I'm sinking so deep. Help me, help me. Won't you have mercy? Set my soul free, please, and let the bell in my heart. My cry, this is my plea. I need an angel. I need an angel. Send me an angel. Send it on down. Hear me now. I need an angel. Need an angel.
Welcome back. Yes. Welcome back. Wow, that was great. That's excellent. I hope everybody learned something. It's one thing I love about our show. At least we get to learn something, even within not just about books, but why these books are being created, the creative mind of the individuals, or creative intellectual minds of the individuals, and their backgrounds. And I'm sure that you've seen Diane Carbo. Oh my goodness, RN. She's just astounding. So we're looking forward to having her come back in the near future. Okay, come back on the show again, on the set. And also, I'm looking forward to seeing all of you come back next week for another great program of ASA. Oh, of course, the ASA. APN TV Media. ASA is ASA Publishing Corporation, and that's, oh my goodness, don't even worry about it. It's all good. But I tell you what, here is APN TV Media, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week. Take care.
Yeah, watch it. Got the words on the track. That on the boards. Church. Bishop Lamont. Wow. Yeah, the statistics shows my ballistic flows generate big cake, not with candles that spaghetti them O's. I'm so ready, how to pack my clothes. I'm so heavy with no D. How them boys, I rock them gators more than Dundee boys. I'm the real raw deal, y'all just steal decoys like them duck hunters, runners, blowing whistles, making noise. It's official, tell them missiles, I'm the dizzle, flow sizzle, folk shizzle. I'm off the hizzy, busy signal. I got that hustle muscle for that green like Lufa Brick. No, not from New Orleans, but can you see me, homie? Mic check, check 1, 2. If it ain't a check a text, that's all I'm gon' do. Mic check, check 1, 2. If you ain't talking dollars, I can't understand you. Mic check, check 1, 2. If it ain't a check a text, that's all I'm gon' do. Mic check, check 1, 2. If you ain't talking dollars, I can't understand you. Yeah, look around, left, right, up and down. Ain't nobody like me. Wrist so icy, colors like iced tea. Them diamonds get pricey. Got rich now, everybody so nice to me. I'm a whiz kid, Doogie Howser. Just like the game, snatch your dame, I'm Bowser. Spit hot flames, stay sagging in my trousers. Even on church day, the preacher like no way. And Miss Jenkins like, Lord, take them demons away. In my headphones, Jesus walks by Kanye. Macking to a chickie, trying to get some kissy kissy. You can nibble on my neck, but no hickey. Mic check, check 1, 2. If it ain't a check a text, that's all I'm gon' do. Mic check, check 1, 2. If you ain't talking dollars, I can't understand you. Mic check, check 1, 2. If it ain't a check a text, that's all I'm gon' do. Mic check, check 1, 2. If you ain't talking dollars, I can't understand you. Baby, I'm the bomb diggy. Girls be begging for another chance like I'm Biggie. I run the city, call me P. Diddy. My life's Whoopi Goldberg, it ain't nothing pretty. It's been a long time coming, this ain't happened quickly. Overnight, try more like over and over until the morning light. Steady trying to get it right.